Hi, video world, YouTube, friends, family, probably mostly friends, family, I'm thinking, until, I don't know, let's see if it becomes useful to other people. My name is Daniel. I was just diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, stage 2, and not wanting this to make a huge impact in my life and wanting to still be successful in my life, I'm choosing to say, screw you, I'm going to be going through chemo and everything, but I'm going to keep doing the things I normally do in life and try and literally even make myself better. Use this as a moment in my life to realize that I need to become more healthy. Some people have heart attacks. Some people just has a doctor tell them you're too fat, or you're just maybe you're a drug addict. But and you go to therapy or you get caught, you go to a judge. I don't know what you go through that makes you want to change your life, but this is what's making me want to change mine. I will be talking and making a video blog every twice a week for, I don't know, as long as I feel like I'm dealing with it. It can take a while. Cancer something, generally, it goes into remission, but for all you know, it's never gone and it can come back. And so I may be doing these videos for years, maybe just do them for fun after a while, but for right now I feel like I want to put together a video series that'll both be helpful and allow me to sit down and just seriously express how I'm feeling. This is not sponsored, I'm not advertising anything. If I talk about anything, it's merely because I did it and I liked it and I tried other things as well and liked this more than the others. And I'm going to talk about, different diets I'll go through, eating plans, exercise, events, work, life, social, dating, and being a parent as well. I'm a 24-year-old male. I'm half African American, half white. I am a father, a 3-year-old little girl who's absolutely wonderful, and I'm also single. So I get to talk about the dating life, being a dad. I have a race almost towards the end of my chemo session, but I'll still be in chemo when I do this race and talking about preparing for it and what it was like. I'm not in shape right now. I've got a good size, I got some flab, I got some muscle, but for the most part, I'm not in shape. And I'm trying to get ready for this big race. It's called the Spartan Race. It's 12 miles, 25 plus military style obstacles. It's a pretty intense race, pretty fun. They do them nationwide, and they'll usually do one per state. Utah, which is where I'm at, they'll do one. It's the Spartan Beast Race, so I'll be preparing for that at the same time. Just going through chemo. I have, you kind of know a little bit about me. Let me talk to you about lymphoma. Alright, so lymphoma is a cancer of the lymph nodes, or the lymph cells that are inside the lymph nodes. For me, the lymph nodes in your armpit and right chest, or right pectoral, are where my lymph nodes became cancerous, became tumors. You have lymph nodes up in your neck, armpits, they scatter throughout the body, but you got some right down here, halfway down your torso, up in your chest, down into your groin. So they're located throughout your body, and you can get lymphoma on any of them. I'm glad that it was in my armpit, which is, not the most appealing place in the body already. So getting the scar, in there was not a huge deal for me, unlike, my cousin who got him in the neck, and that would suck. Or maybe if you got some big ones in your groin, that could be fun. Literally, I feel like I got lucky in my location. It's stage 2, which means there's 2 places. One right down here, and one up in the inside of my armpit, right deep in there. And in fact, here is a wonderful picture. I can just pull this out. And here you go. You can see my lymph nodes right inside there. As you can see the big one down there, and then the other one shining up there. This is a PET scan. Anyone who has cancer gets one of these. Get to see your beautiful body. You get to see where the fat begins and the muscle starts. And you can see, check out someone's trap muscles, shoulders. So, if you're ever curious about, what your body's looking like on the inside, PET scans can be very fun. So I'm not gonna lie, I've had a good time watching or looking this over, and there's a huge DVD about it. This is just one of the pictures, but there's a whole bunch of different depths and angles looking through my body, and so there's my cancer, and so you can kind of get a general idea of what lymphoma tumors look like. So that's that story. I'm an interesting place in my life because I was barely in between jobs when this was diagnosed. The company I was working for has almost gone under, and so everyone had to jump ship and find new employment. And in the middle of trying to find new employment, I got diagnosed with cancer. This has been quite the battle, and I'm going to make videos about each of these individual struggles I've had. I'll go into more detail about that, but so if you're someone who has cancer and you're worried about your job, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about what I've had to go through, and I'm not going to promise you I'll have any answers, but I'll tell you what I've gone through and how I went through it, and what worked and what didn't work, and how it impacted everything. As a dad and as an adult, I can't, I have to take care of myself. I have to have a job. I have a good support base, but I still am a father myself and need to take care of things. Baby's mama, of course, wants me to as well. As well, I will be going through several different dieting plans. One of them, I'll be going through a handful of diets, a handful of series of natural cancer remedies that are supposedly cure cancer. I'll find out. And then natural teas and herbs that help with the side effects of cancer. Now, once again, all of these that I'm going to try, I talk to my doctor about. And any new ones I might try, I'm going to approach my doctor. I've had a lot of friends who are into the homeopathic stuff, into the all-natural, have come to me and asked me to try these and say, it'll cure you, I know it will, I believe in it, and it's so sweet. They're great friends. I've never been a huge natural person. I'm the kind of guy who has bacon and eggs in the breakfast and, a cheeseburger in the afternoon, and we'll go to the bar. So, I'm not some dieted person or experienced with all this stuff. We'll see how it impacts me. I'll be also going through a handful of different diets. I'll be starting with the juicing diet. This is supposed to be a cleanse. It'll be a 10-day where I'm doing nothing but vegetables and juice. If you ever seen the, oh my goodness, it's a video about an Australian guy who goes, he travels America. It's like fat something and barely alive or dying or something like that. I'll post a link to it, but it's all about juicing. It's all about going through a fast, and he goes through a 60-day, loses a crap ton of weight. He introduced it to a couple other people that are in his series. This one guy who's 429 pounds, and he loses in 10 months 215 pounds. So he went from 420 pounds to weighing less than I did. So in 10 months. That's outrageous. And in the first 30 days, he lost 60 pounds. And he looked healthier. He had a lot of autoimmune diseases and other health issues, and he managed to have to no longer take medication for them. And so that's something I think might help me, get my body back on track of fighting this cancer. So I'll be going through that, and then I'll go through, some general eating diets. I can't promise to you I will be doing, I'm not 100% sure I'll be doing it yet. The juicing is a for sure thing. I'll be doing that. What diets I do after that are kind of up in the air. I'm most likely going to just stick with an all-natural diet. I don't think I'm going to continue to do that vegan or vegetarian thing. I've had friends tell me I should do the raw foods diet. I'm sure they'll work, but there's no point in me doing something that I don't personally think I can do. And I'm going to approach my obstacles one at a time and try and make sure that I only approach obstacles that I think I can achieve. I mean, the last thing I want to do is put up a video saying, I'm doing raw foods, and then fail. And so, and have it mean nothing, and you guys watch this video looking for updates, and there is no update other than that I sucked at it and couldn't do it. So I'm trying to stick with things like I personally can do. Going through chemo and everything, there's just certain things that I just can't, you can't do. You have to kind of accept you're going to have some limitations, although I'm trying to beat all of them. If I continue to do a half marathon with obstacles, extreme dieting, juicing, fasting, exercising, as well as trying to keep the world updated. It's a hard thing to go through. It makes sense why a lot of people haven't chosen to do things like this. Make a video series that people can look to when they go through cancer to let them know what things they should or shouldn't try. Granted, this video is going to be pretty long. Not horribly long. I'm trying to keep it down, but each video after will be pretty short. Somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes, I'm sure. This one we're just getting up to date. So, preparing for the race. I was already preparing for the race. The reason why I'm doing the race still is it wasn't like, you have cancer, well, I should do a race. No, I was preparing for the race. I'd been preparing for about 2.5 months and got diagnosed. So, I still have about 3.5 months till the race, and I want to keep doing it. I've already lost 15 pounds, and I've bulked up a little bit. I don't want any of this to go to waste. And that's why I'm especially being careful with my diet. Because the last thing as well you want is to go through all this effort getting in shape, as a lot of people do, because this is a disease that young people get. And you may have been working out, you may be an athlete, and you don't want to deteriorate. You don't want the side effects of chemo causing nausea and vomiting and sickness and just pure plain exhaustion keep you from still getting up, exercising, because even though you feel exhausted, it's the drugs, it's not your body. It's your body still needs to exercise, and your body is going to say, get comfort food, go eat some shakes covered in fat and delicious sugar, and it's so good, and I'm gonna want them really bad, but instead I'm gonna just stick with healthy foods, because I know that in the end that's what's gonna be best for me. I will probably incorporate a cheat day. I think cheat days are healthy, keeps you mentally sane, and still allows you to be physically healthy. So and I'll probably do that Saturdays, seeing as I'll be doing chemo sessions Fridays, and the first 3 days now, this is just what I've heard. As I'm doing videos, I might change. Anything I've told you is likely to change as I'm going through this. I might say, screw juicing, it's the worst thing ever, I'm going through chemo, screw it, I don't want to do it. But for right now, that's the plan. And so, chemo's the worst for the first 3 days after, and then you can get better. So I want to be able to just kind of get what I want when I'm feeling my worst, and then as well I'm working out 6 days, 5 to 6 days a week, probably 5. And as well, so I'm going to keep my rest days to coincide with when I get my chemo. So I'll probably work out Fridays if I get my chemo Fridays, and I'll just work out before I go to chemo. And then on my 2 days where I don't work out and my day of cheating will be the 2 days after I do chemo, and then the cheat day will be the day after I do chemo. That, in my mind, sounds like the best plan. Next, I'm going to talk about support, because I feel it's very important. I mean, every pamphlet that the Huntsman Center and that all the different hospitals that we've gone to sent us, every one of them includes a pamphlet about support systems. And, there's so much literature out there. I've gotten a bunch of pamphlets, understanding Hodgkin's lymphoma. I have a couple others that are, understanding what it's like to help someone who's going through Hodgkin's lymphoma. They're all out there. And your hospitals will usually give them to you for free. And I recommend looking to those resources. There's way too much information out there on the web that says, oh, cancer, this will cure cancer, and this is what happens. And it's so much of it's conflicting with each other. I mean, I've even had my doctor tell me something that was different than other doctors have said. And so and doctors, pamphlets that say something completely different than what my friends who went through through cancer said. And a lot of it's just simply because people with cancer are grouped together. You have cancer, come here, we're all gonna hang out. We're basically the same thing, right? No, it's I mean, we all get thrown in the microwave for a handful of months to a couple of years, and so that's the only thing that makes people with cancer have anything in common. It's just the treatment. But the types of cancer and the effects it have, and even the side effects can be completely different. I will be dealing with fertility issues with this type of cancer. And I think that's the same with a lot of different people. Mine's a blood cancer. So my immune system is going to get completely shot. I go through more chemo than radiation. I will do radiation. I do about 4 months of chemo, and then I'm going to go through radiation. And basically, they're just going to put me in the microwave until they just don't see it anymore. And so, optimistically, we're trying to hope that we'll do 4 months of chemo, and then we'll get a clean slate, just a clean picture, and don't have to do much radiation, if any at all. You know, knock on wood. So it's a long battle. For some, it's longer than others. I'm stage 2. People who are stage 3 or 4, or even if you have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is literally double the regimen. So you can have like 8 months of chemo and then radiation. It's just harder to get rid of. And I don't know exactly what makes them so different. I'm not a doctor, so I don't think I should comment on it. But I just know one's called non-Hodgkin's, one's called Hodgkin's, and one of them is easier to manage. Mine's easier to manage, at least in the time. So, support. I found out about my my cancer about two weeks ago, and I kind of knew I had it before then. I mean, me and the doctor kind of were like, it's probably that, but we're not going to say it's that, so you don't sue me in case you don't until we get the diagnosis. But you know, when you look at the facts, what does it mean to have cancer? Or what does all these tumors mean? Because I can feel them. They were huge. You know, I got some bigger ones removed, but I can still feel them. And they don't hurt. So if you have lymph nodes that are swollen and they hurt, it's actually a good sign. If they don't hurt, it's not as good a sign. And you know, when you do the math, you kind of think, okay, it's probably lymphoma. But I didn't tell many people. The last thing I wanted was just like my doctor. He didn't want me to freak out by saying you probably have lymphoma. Same way I didn't want to make my family and friends freak out and saying I have cancer. Everyone freak out, and because you tell everyone you have cancer, we freak out. Everyone freaks out. Everyone starts becoming a nutritionist and a doctor and consulting you and asking you to come into their office and tell you, by their office I mean their bedroom, and just tell you about you need to eat this and that and this, and you have to avoid this and you have to this, and you. Oh, and this is what's going to happen because I knew a guy who knew a friend who had Hodgkin's lymphoma, and they mean the best, but understand that you're going to get bombarded with everyone who's an expert in cancer, and they may know a lot about one type of cancer, but you have Hodgkin's lymphoma, or even if you don't have Hodgkin's lymphoma. I mean, this video is going to help anyone with any type of cancer, only because the hardest part is literally the chemo, the treatment. Cancer doesn't make you lose weight. Cancer doesn't even make you sick till it's about to kill you. It's the chemo, it's the treatment that hurts your body so much, that causes you to be nauseated and weak and just feel like you have the flu, basically. And I'll come up with better descriptions after I go through my first session. My first session is in about 4 days, at which point I'll make another video. And I'm sure I will smile less. But I'll try and keep, I think a big thing is keep a positive attitude. As I'm doing, I see everything I'm about to go through as an obstacle that's going to be difficult, and I'm excited to beat it. And you have to, it's a healthy mentality. I'm able to go hang out with my friends. I'm able to talk about this instead of hiding out my house because I have this attitude of like, I'm just going to beat it, and I'm going to overcome it. And the support's important. So I've finally posted on my Facebook and a couple other social sites that, hey everybody, I have some bad news. I've just been diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, stage 2. I'll start chemo for 4 months and then radiation going forth after that for an indiscriminate amount of time. And I might have to go look to tell you the exact truth, but for you who are my friends on Facebook, you know how many likes. Well, I like to think those likes as disliking the news, but acknowledging that they're there, and then just 50 somewhat comments, maybe more. It was a lot. Everyone had, wanted to let me know that they're there for me if I need to ride to the hospital. Everyone gave me, a lot of them gave me nutrition advice, and dieting advice, and exercise advice, and saying I should stop going out, I should stop having my glass of scotch that I love, and you know, I'm sure all of it's really good advice, and I'm sure I should follow it. Like, I probably should stop drinking. I probably will slow down a lot. But in the end, you know, if you have cancer and you're watching this, I take everything they say, write them down. Because your doctor does not have the memory or the capacity to remember everything that you could do that would help. You know, he's going to mention the basics. Eat a healthy diet. Try and exercise. I mean, my doctor didn't even mention exercise until I asked him, can I still exercise? I am preparing for a big race that's going to be very rigorous, and I want to do it. And I want to be able to not fail, be a failure in this. And he thought about it. He's like, yeah, I mean, you should absolutely exercise. So, I mean, if I didn't ask that, he probably would have told me I should exercise. And so, write all these things down that people tell you, and bring them to your doctor. Don't just go online. I know that's going to be most people's first instinct, especially if they're my age. You know, Hodgekins lymphoma most people get it when they're in their late teens, 20s, and they want to go Google immediately, or Bing it, whatever, and find out if what they're being told is true. And that's a horrible idea, because there's way too much information online, and so much of it does not match. So go take it to your doctor, and if he doesn't know, he'll do research, and he'll find it from the right places, and the most current places, so you don't looking at old studies, because that was a huge thing I found. I would find studies from the late 90s, studies from 6 years ago, and then, you know, studies from now, and you don't realize that these are old studies, because it's not like in the middle of the graph they're like, made in 1989. No, it's like just a graph on a website that was posted there. It was probably posted a long time ago, and then they just forgot about it and never updated it. And so, just bring it to your doctor. Biggest advice I can say about everything. I mean, tell every these people, thanks, I will look into this. And do it. I mean, actually look into it. You know, I got advice on the juicing. I watched a couple videos, and I brought it to my doctor, and he said, that sounds great. I mean, clean your body out. Your body is fighting something evil in it, and so, I mean, let's get all the other evil stuff out of it. And who knows? Maybe it speeds things up, but we don't think it would hurt you. We think it could only do good things. And that's basically the answer you're going to get on a lot of things, is it's not going to hurt you, but, you know, whether it helps a lot or not, let us know. So, as long as you find out it's not going to hurt you, then go ahead and do it. I'll do a bunch, so you don't have to experiment with your body like I'm going to. But, you know, I think it'll help a lot of people. And once again, I'm still being safe. I'm still consulting my doctor about everything I've decided to do already. I have not talked to him about the individual diets, which is why I don't feel like I can talk to you guys about what I want to do. I can just tell you about things I don't want to do, which is the raw diet. I don't know. I might do it for like a week or something, just to see how I feel. If I like it, I'll make a video about it. So take everyone's advice. You know, it doesn't take a lot of support. I find that, you know, between just like some of my immediate, my brother Theo, he's always quick. He's always wanting to know, and just knowing that people want to hear from you and are advantageous about it. I mean, if you're trying to support someone who has cancer, don't send them a random thing on Facebook saying, you know, let me know if you need anything. The best thing you can do, I mean, and it's definitely easier just to comment on that, but they blend in, and I know, you know, I truly believe that basically everyone who posts they want, if I need help, to let them know. But the thing is, though, is when you have like 60-something people saying "let me know," they blend together, and you can't put a face to the love that you're trying to give. So send them a text, do something one-on-one, send them a message. If you want to do the social media thing, which is easy for a lot of us, send them a message and say, hey, you know, that sucks. Don't belittle it. Don't be like, oh, you're gonna be okay. That kind of is like you know, it's. I don't know a good way to describe it, but it doesn't make me feel any better. It really doesn't. But by saying that sucks, acknowledging that this sucks, and letting, you know, and then adding encouragement, not in the sense that you'll get over, because the doctor's already going to talk about his statistics, about what his likelihood is of surviving. And so he doesn't need you to tell him anything that his doctor hasn't already said, or he doesn't need you to say anything that's opposite of what his doctor said. So, simply just let him know, hey, let's hang out sometime. I'm not gonna lie, I've been, I've, a lot of cool friends have wanted to hang out with me more often than they found out. And that's exactly what I need. I need my friends, just to want to, I'm going through a hard time. So being alone is a little bit more difficult right now. So just be there. Just, let them know it sucks. And that, you'll pray for them, or if they're atheists, just tell them it sucks. And that you guys need to hang out. Sport's important. This is expensive. That's the part I'm most afraid of, I think, is just figuring out how this whole money thing is. I have insurance. Thank God. Thank God. Oh my goodness. If I didn't, this could be hundreds, thousands, millions even. It's blowing my mind. I mean, my insurance is going to cover like 82%, I think. And still, I figure out of pocket, I'm going to be tens of thousands of dollars. So it's, think about that. If you have a friend who's going through this, and, they're not sitting on some top of some mountain in a mansion, they might need some help financially. Because working is also going to be hard. And that's something I really want to talk about, because finding a job, I'm fighting this battle of, do I tell these employers? When do I tell them? Just put that in on my resume, Say, by the way, I'm going through chemo. Enjoy the hike in your health insurance prices as a small company. So I'm going to become more expensive on your healthcare plan to hire me as an employee, and hopefully hire me for a job that pays good money and offers health insurance so I can survive, or else I can't take that job to survive. So, people who are going through this, I'll let you know when I decide. I've received a job offer for what appears to be a really great company, paying good money, offers health insurance, so I can double up my health insurance, or maybe I'll just leave them alone and not push my luck on pushing their buttons on, was it a good idea to hire this guy? He's making our health insurance premiums go up. So, but another thing is being able to just perform at work, going through chemo. And I'll explore some options to make myself be able to succeed. And but we'll make some other videos about this as I go through it. And yeah, so it's my first video. I made it very long, I know, but enjoy it. Every video after this will be more specific to different issues, and I'll post those twice a week. Anyway, thank you, and wish me the best luck. I have to go head to the hospital. Got a bone marrow biopsy. I'm really excited.